So, Vinny, I think most people would say, well, you look at your record the past two seasons at Ramona, 15-5-1, and obviously the program's in a great place right now. So why would you want to step down from a team that's actually on the rise? It looks like.
Yeah, you know what? It's really not. In that way, it's really not a football decision. I just the demands on a head football coach have become so great now that you really have to look at it. I think every year and say, is this something I'm ready to do to invest in for a full another year? And my son is 19 months old. I got that week after Thanksgiving, that break of Thanksgiving where I really got to see him a lot. And I was like, man, this is a really cool little dude. I need to be around, and before, during, and really all the time, I get up and I'm gone before he wakes up. And by the time I get home, he's a half hour from going to bed. So I'm seeing him for a half hour a day. And, I don't know any other way to be a coach, a head coach. I don't know any other way to do it other than you got to be around for everything. And you got to, and I don't want to cheat the Ramona kids and the Ramona program by trying to find a way to do it halfway. I do think we're in a good place and the program's in a good place. And I feel good about that. I feel like we did what John Tibbles brought us in to do, which was, get the program culture change and win some games and get it in a good place. And we did that. I'm proud of what we did here. But at the same time, I think the demands of a head coach now have gotten so big, and it's not just on the field stuff. It's all the off the field stuff that you're dealing with all the time, and that's the part I really need to take a few years away from. I still like to coach, still like to be around the kids, I still like to do that part of it, but the off the field stuff, for a little while, I need a little break.
So being a head coach obviously takes a toll on your family, and your son Luca is almost 2 years old. So, obviously, if you have to put your priorities in line, you want to be around your family more as opposed to, like you said, being a head coach where you're with the team and you're involved in every aspect, of the program.
Well, and just everything. Being a head coach is everything. You're talking to people that are selling you stuff, and you're talking to vendors, and you're going out and fundraising, and you're dealing with these 7-on-7 guys and street agents and recruiters, and you're dealing with the administration and the parents, and it's everything. And all of that takes up so much time, and really gets chips into the time that I'm getting to spend with my family, and that's the part that at least for now I need to move away from that part. I still like the coaching part. I still like the being in the weight room, with the kids and encouraging them, and being out on the field and encouraging them. I still like that part. For a little while at least, I got to get away from that. And when Luca gets into school and thing, in a couple of years, I may get that bug back to want to go all in on all that stuff again. But for now, I don't feel like I'm the guy that can give the proper time to all that stuff, and somebody's got to do it. And if I'm not going to, then no one would. And that's not fair. That wouldn't be fair to what we've built over the last 2 years to say, well, now all of a sudden I'm gonna try to be half in and half out. I never wanted to do that. It certainly wasn't an easy decision, which is why I tried to take some time to think about it. Why I didn't do it the day after the season ended. But I think that this time, it's really a no-brainer for me.
So obviously it's tough being a head coach, but could we see you pop up as an assistant or a coordinator? Is that something you even want to take on right now? Or
I have every intention of coaching next year. Probably, like I said, it'll almost certainly be in an assistant role, coordinator role. I've got there's a couple of intriguing opportunities out there that for me. So I would be. I have every intention of coaching next year somewhere. I don't know exactly where that'll be yet, but yeah, I still love the coach. I still love the game. I'm blessed to be a part of it, and love to be around the players, and all that stuff is just it really is my passion. And I want to be able to throw myself full time into that part of it. And for a couple of years, let somebody else do the other part of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's I mean, it really is. It really is that simple. I mean, it really isn't any more complicated than that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to lessen what assistant coaches do or coordinators do because obviously they play a huge role in the team, but you don't have to deal with, like what you said, all the extra things that people don't see off the field, correct? Being the head coach.
It's very, very, very different. I've been both, and it's sometimes it's just nice when something after practice or whatever comes up, and somebody comes over and wants to talk, and you go, oh yeah, the head coach is that guy over there.
Yeah.
It's sometimes just nice to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think it certainly doesn't mean I'll work any less hard as a coordinator, as an assistant coach than I have in the past. But I think if there's one place where I have available time, it's getting rid of some of those ancillary head coaching things that you have to do. And that's, I still want to be able to focus on being a great teacher. I still want to be able to focus on being a great football coach. I just, some of that head coaching stuff is where that time's got to give, because I want to be able to be an A-plus dad for Luca. I don't want to be, a dad that he only sees a couple of times a week, or he only sees on Saturdays, or I don't want to be that guy. So it just, that's the choice really came down to, is it worth being away from my son, and am I ready to do that again for another year? And that was really what it came down to. It's really nothing more than that.